everybody, and welcome back. I'm so excited to be making another video for you again today. So, I do have to apologize for taking such a long break. I was in bar prep courses, which means it's basically 8 to 10 hours a day of studying for about 10 weeks. So I'm really excited that that is over. The bar is done. But now I'm going to be bringing you on a journey. And this is going to be the biggest or the largest amount of canning that I've ever done at one time. It's going to be doing 100 pounds of tomatoes. So I'm going to invite you along on this journey with me, maybe troubleshoot a little with me, but we're going to see how this goes. Okay, so first we're going to get a sink full of soapy water and start putting all of our tomatoes in it to clean it off. And now we're going to bring these tomatoes up, not exactly to a boil, and we're going to wait until they split, and then we're going to take them out and throw them in a bowl full of cold icy water. Okay, so our tomatoes are all starting to crack, so now it's time to pull them out and put them in an ice bath. Okay, so now that we've had the tomatoes in the ice bath, we're going to go ahead and pull them out, and we're going to start peeling them. Now you always know that they stayed in just the right amount of time, and they're perfectly right when all the skins just peel off all at one time. So this one maybe could have gone just a little bit longer, but that's going to be okay. Now we're just going to cut them up. I'm going to do it kind of in larger chunks because I'm going to throw it in my Ninja blender, and this just helps speed the process up a lot. And we're just going to keep repeating this until all of our tomatoes are done. Okay, so now that this is as full as we can get it, I'm going to go ahead and put this through the blender, and then I'm just going to put it in a separate bowl and set it to the side until we're done. Okay, so we finally have all of our tomatoes pureed through the blender, and we're going to go ahead and start loading our jars. So that took probably between 30 and 40 minutes to get these two big bowls filled. And now we're going to do a teaspoon of Mrs. Wage's canning and pickling salt, and we're going to put that in each jar. And behind me, I already have our water bath canner heating up. And I think this is the first video I've ever done the water bath canner with. And the water bath canner, you can do a lot of foods that are high acid, which is usually like fruits. You can use it with pickling. You don't want to use it with meat or anything low acid like beans. But tomatoes are right on the edge of being acidic enough to water bath can. So I have some of my citric acid, and we're going to do a ½ teaspoon per quart. If you're using pint jars, you want to do a ¼ teaspoon. I was so excited to do this video because the first thing I ever canned was tomatoes. And I think it's great because it teaches you all the basics you need to know for the rest of your recipes. And I like to do them pureed like this because we can take them out and of course use them as spaghetti, but we can also turn it into marinara sauce, into ketchup, and what else? Oh, salsa as well. Okay, so let's get our jars loaded. filled, and we want to do about 1 inch of headspace. And now we're just going to wipe the rims because these tomatoes are pretty messy. Okay, so we're going to let the water bath canner come up to a rolling boil once these are inside. And you'll be able to hear it. And so once that starts, we're going to start our timer for 40 minutes, and then we will be back. Okay, so I'm filling our second set of jars, and I'm just using the citric acid again. I'm just waiting for our first batch to come up to temperature. So I think this year I've really been focused on filling gaps in the pantry. Just because while I normally can tomatoes, and we did have enough to last us through the year, I really wanted to focus on just having enough that we can do everything that we really want to do. I know we usually make a lot of chili, and so I wanted to make sure we have enough of this to last us the entire winter. So one thing I've done this year is notice just stuff that we didn't necessarily have enough of last year, and what we need to do to be more self-sufficient in that. So this year we did go buy probably about 100 pounds of tomatoes from our local farmer's market. I was really excited about this because I've never done this much tomatoes, or this many tomatoes all at one time. And another thing I've really been focusing on is, in all the recipes that I do, we always have a lot of leftovers. Like with this, we have all of the cores and all of the skins. And I really don't want to throw this much food out. So I'm going to dehydrate all the tomato skins, and I'm going to grind them up into a powder, and then I'm going to use these as a tomato paste. And what you do with the powder is you get, I think it's about a tablespoon of the powder, and then a couple tablespoons of water, and you mix them up, and then you already have a tomato paste. And while you can just get tomatoes and can them and do a tomato paste like that, so when I do that, I only need 1 can, and I can make a ton of tomato paste with just that 1 can, rather than canning it and having 20 to 30 cans of tomato paste. So we're going to see how it works out, and I'm going to try it out with our first can of spaghetti. And I'll try to record it and let you know how it goes. So I have our second to last batch of tomatoes in the canner behind me. And we're gonna go ahead and dehydrate all the peels. Now I did some of this already just to see how it worked out. And this is the result. So this is from about 75 pounds of tomatoes. And this is from the remaining 25. And we're just gonna try to lay them out as flat as possible so that they'll dry evenly and they'll dry a lot quicker. And I'll have to show you, I did try out making the tomato paste from the peels, and you want to use 1 part tomato of the crushed tomato skins, and then 1 part water. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so we can see how many I get, and then we're going to put it in the dehydrator. I set it for about 140 for about 6 hours. Normally it won't take that long, but it's just so while I'm manning this, it doesn't turn off before they're ready. So, and here I have a teaspoon of water. I'm gonna get a teaspoon of the skins. And I'm probably gonna put them in something different from this. I'm probably gonna do my seal bags. And we're just gonna mix this together really well. So, it's pretty good. It's pretty pasty. I might add just a little bit more water when I actually go to use it. But for this, I'm really happy. So what I'm gonna do when I take them out of the dehydrator is just put them in my blender and mix them up. And if you don't have a dehydrator, you could also do this in your oven, and that works just fine. Okay, so we're finally done with canning our 100 pounds of tomatoes. All in all, I think we got about 46 quart jars, which is amazing. I also did some of our own tomatoes in here as well. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. It was so much fun to make. Until our next video, I think that is it, except for just one more thing. When I started canning, I didn't have really a lot of people to ask just for troubleshooting recipes and things like that. So I found some groups on Facebook that are really, really helpful because it's a lot of people that have been canning for forever. So it's really helpful to be able to take a picture of something and post it and be like, hey, this is what I did I do it right? It's really great to be able to get that one-on-one, like, instant help. Okay, well, I hope this helped, and I think I'm going to be finishing up my next video now, and we're going to be canning some peaches. Okay?